Spain will not care. They have 3 points on the board, and they have 3 points on the board against Germany, no less. They'll celebrate tonight, but they'll need to lock in pretty quickly because they've got Ukraine next. And well, for Germany, things are looking ominous. We said to you before the game it would be a disaster for them not to make it out the groups. Well, that looks a very, very real possibility now. Full time amidst chaos here in Cancun. It's Spain 3, Germany 2, and stick right with us because we do have another game for you, if you can believe it or not. France versus the Netherlands. Those players would have been waiting for some time to get out on that pitch, but they'll be with you very shortly, as will we, to bring you all the action.
A very warm welcome back then to Cancun, where the Soccer World Championships are very much underway. And what a day we've had. There are very few fixtures in sport that transcend the format in which they are played. We've just been blessed with one of those as Spain defeat Germany with late penalty drama. But as is the beauty of soccer, we're wasting no time in bringing you yet another. It's France up against Netherlands. First we'll have the anthems, and then we'll get right into the action. Here we go then. If you've been with us all night, you'll be on the level that we're at here in the commentary box. We've been treated with some genuinely magnificent games in the tournament so far. In fact, a few potential games of the tournament, late drama. If this game is half of what we've seen so far, we are in for an absolute treat. I'm Rob Burke, and I'll be taking you through this one alongside me, Frankie Redland. Excited, sir?
I can't wait. I've barely recovered from the last match that we've seen, but this should be a really intriguing contest because the Netherlands came into this tournament as a surprise package. They're unseeded. We didn't know much about them, yet they were fantastic in their last game. They had some excellent players, real technicians, and they were feisty as well. And then you look to this France side, who were finalists at the Euro Cup, had Kazakhstan in their opener, and were very good value for the point. And anyone who knows soccer knows that if you can take any amount of points off Kazakhstan, that is a good result. This French team look like they've matured a lot since the last World Cup, and they could be serious contenders. So it would be good to see how good the Netherlands actually are. They got a win in their first game. How do they compare to a seasoned soccer side like France?
Well, only time will tell. If you are just joining us, well, we've seen some magnificent games so far. And on paper, this one should be right up there. As I said, the Netherlands unseeded, but impressed everyone in the stadium, everyone watching at home with their 3-1 victory over Uruguay. But as Frankie mentioned, finishing a game level with Kazakhstan is no mean feat, and that's exactly what the French side managed to do.
Well, as I mentioned, they've come a long way. This French team last year in Oman, they were just missing the killer edge. They weren't so tight at the back, but honestly, the concentration levels they showed throughout that entire game with Kazakhstan was insane. They barely gave the Kazakhs a sniff. Of course, they did concede a goal, but they were very good value for the draw. And they worked themselves back into it. They didn't just have one chance, they created multiple. And I was really impressed by this France side, and led by Hugo de Severa as well, who wants to play soccer the right way. And he's certainly got the makings of a very competitive French team here.
Well, sit back, relax, and enjoy what we've got in store. France up against the Netherlands. If you are just joining us, it is the Netherlands kicking from left to right in the blue jerseys, and France from right to left in the red. Not the trademark colours from these two sides, but it's a trademark fixture in all formats of the sport. And both sides will have ambitions of progressing from Group F. It is the Netherlands who sit top as it stands. They've got a tough test to come. France, well, they've already faced perhaps the toughest opposition in Group F. But as I said, it was a good performance from the Dutch against Uruguay in their previous match. They went behind after 10 minutes against Uruguay. They did manage to mount a comeback in that second half, and they played really, really well. Started just a little bit off pace, but grew into the game, and in the end dominated, scoring 2 late goals just to make sure of the victory. And they're coming forward here to the byline, and that's a good save, preventing any opportunity for a tap in at the back post. It's rather throwing me off, the colours that the two teams are wearing, Frankie.
It is. That red is just too close to the classic orange of the Netherlands, isn't it? Why couldn't we have blue versus orange, the classic colours?
Look, I couldn't see a clash with the home shirts. Nevertheless, it is still the fantastic soccer, or at least hopefully, that we anticipate. France come forward, cut out rather calmly by the Dutch, and they'll sling it up the other end. Dangerous looking ball put in there by Bouhalul. Hugo Petat will just switch the play, and in the end it'll work its way back to him so that France can build again. Now the stadium has filled up rather nicely as we've worked our way into the evening. It's been a while now since the sun has set, the temperature cooling quite nicely. Humidity is still high though, make no mistake, but there is just that air of anticipation. This is a big one on the calendar in this tournament. Heavy press, a quick press from the Dutch, and they raced on in there, and they're going to get their rewards.
He was far too hesitant there, Hugo Betat. So much so that Ben Darley actually crashed into him to attempt to clear the ball himself and take charge of the situation. But you're right, a ferocious press from the Netherlands.
They're a high-energy team, the Netherlands. And Damani is over the ball. It will be Damani. There are options to his left, options to his right. There's a man on the goal line, but that man fancies a shot. 3 minutes on the clock. An opening goal here would be massive in Group F, and for the Netherlands' ambitions of progressing. It will be the number 4. Damani, right-footed, blocked. Here is Amaru. Picks his pass and picks a good one too. Bouhalul. Well, it was neither a cross or a shot. Bit of rush of blood to the head. He was in yards and yards of space. Positive start from the Dutch and wholesale changes from the French.
Really positive start from the Dutch. As I said in the opener, it's a real good litmus test for how good a soccer nation they actually are. And they look very competent. It's no easy feat beating Uruguay, gritty South Americans. And the thing about soccer and high-level competition.
Well, Belbashir sends that one far too long, all the way through, in fact. That one slightly wayward from the goalkeeper. A chance here for France to get their first opportunity on goal. Wasted though. Long ball, headed clear. No stress really for Melon. It's the Dutch on top at the moment. It is the French, though, that are the more experienced side. In fact, they have experience over several teams. It's their 8th major tournament. They've played 42 games, winning 19 of them, drawing 9 and losing 14. Lost in the Euro Cup final to Poland. On their day, they are a superb soccer side. Frankie's already mentioned that this is a test for the Dutch, new to the soccer scene. A dream start so far. They equalised after 23 minutes in their first game. As I mentioned, they took a little bit of time to get going. Uruguay, a high energy team. They've got some very keen runners in their side to Uruguay, and once the Dutch settled, they managed to equalise, and then they scored the winner in the very last minute, and if that wasn't enough, they tapped one home with the last kick of the game as well. 3-1 in the end. The man on the ball now, a big part of that.
He was outstanding against Uruguay. And every blade of turf dictated things.
Possessoir, the man wearing the number 9 jersey. Strong, quick. Got a shot on him as well. So then, another dead ball opportunity. 7 minutes on the clock. The Netherlands will certainly be happy with how they've started the game. They'll want a few numbers to show for it. Right-footed effort. Oh my goodness! A thunderbolt finish. El Boubsi with the goal. Well, I said they'd be happy with their start. Now they can be delighted. The Dutch have arrived on the soccer scene and they lead France.
You won't see many sweeter struck than that. How often do we talk about keeping it low? And he's arrowed it into that bottom corner.
Well, the keeper could have dove last Thursday and he still wouldn't have got there. A thunderous effort and trouble for France. Here they come though, on the attack. Beautiful little nutmegs there, but cleared away, and again the Dutch will break with intent. And that one took a nick, and it will be a corner ball.
France, you feel still half asleep, and this Netherlands side have flown out of the blocks.
The only criticism really from their opening game was that they started a little bit slow. A lot of that caused by the fact that Uruguay started well. Not an issue here in their second game at Soccer World Championships. They sit top of the group. Plenty of passion and noise coming from the French bench. Right now, it's the Dutch in possession. Good strength again from Possessoir.
I mean, we've only seen 1 and a fraction games of Possessoir, but that's already becoming a trademark. Get the body between man and ball and buy the foul when you've got nowhere else to go.
They do a very good job at winning fouls, and, well, that's where their goal came from. This time, the decision goes in favour of the French. Work to do for the boys in red, which doesn't quite sound as natural Usually, of course, donning the beautiful blue jerseys.
I'm not sure Alela Reds would catch on.
Hasido sending it forward to Garcia. He's on his own out there. He'll win a kick in. But Garcia needs support. Hertos in the area. And there was a man arriving at the back stick, Lebeg, to take the kick in. Better from France. Their first opportunity to really have possession in the Dutch final third. And they're causing them just a few issues here. They haven't spent too much time leading games, the Dutch. As I mentioned, they went behind in the opening game, drew level, but it wasn't until the final minute that they were actually in the lead. There wasn't much time they needed to defend, really. But as it stands, they've got a lead, and for the first time ever, we'll watch them protect it.
It's a nice test in game management for them, isn't it? There's one thing starting quickly, and it's another sustaining that over the full 40 minutes.
Hugo Betat wandering on forward. The press arrives. His left-footed swinging long ball, plenty of curve on it, but Besessoir equal to it. Thumps one into the stands. Hasidu drills it to the edge of the area. A heavy touch again. Releases, well, perhaps a little bit early to call him the main man, but he's certainly the target man.
He is made better by that hair just flowing with every movement.
That's a beautiful over-the-top ball, and the keeper's done really well. You could see the cogs in his brain ticking over there as he realised he wasn't going to be able to catch it. Hugo Betat won the best goalkeeper at the Euro Cup in 2025. He's impressed since replacing Lucky Starek.
And interestingly, in their first match, they withdrew Betat at half-time for Blanc, who did save a soccer penalty.
An abundance of talent then in goal, but right now they need the talent up front to start shining. One behind, 12 minutes gone. Betat, accurate from him, and a platform perhaps for France to come forward. That ball though, not good enough, and once again sparks a Dutch attack. Bouhalul, his ball into the middle, superb! It's two for the Dutch. Damani. And the fans enjoyed that one, clinical. It's two for the number 4. The Dutch are flying high here in Cancun.
And how about that touch to take the ball into your stride? So easy with the weight of the pass to take a baggy touch there and bring yourself away from goal. But it was weighted so perfectly that you just cushioned it past the defender, left him for dead, used the momentum and steered it into the bottom corner.
Well, it looked for a moment as though the touch was too heavy, but the long limbs of Damani just poked one past. And for a debut tournament, you can't ask for much more from your players. Yassin Azouao, the coach of the Netherlands. Considering the experience perhaps isn't quite there, they're showing plenty of know-how. And as we approach the 15-minute mark, urgency needed from the French. Betat giving it to Bendali. Bendali does just about enough to win a kick in, but they're at the wrong end of the field of the French. Bit of a mountain to climb now for Le Bleu. Betat in opposition territory for the first time in this game. This is the urgency we were looking for. But the Dutch equal to the task of defending. Just a little bit too eager to get an attack flowing. They might have an opportunity to do just that here. Youssef. Intercepted, edge of the area, chance for France, blocked away, the referee's whistle is gone. That'll be a yellow card for the Dutch. And it's the man with 2 goals under his belt. And he can tuck a yellow card in there too. 2 minutes in the sin bin. An opportunity calls for the French.
Big moment now for the French because they've been flat since the off. And now with a man advantage, 2 goals down, they need to make this count. He protested with the goal scorer, but I mean, it was clear as day, wasn't it?
It's a big moment for the French, a big game. Should they secure a victory, they would leapfrog the Netherlands into top spot, but they find themselves behind. They need a goal. Hassadou to the back stick, blocked on the line, follow-up shot also blocked. Hassadou keeping the ball alive, another block. This time, Besessoir in the way. Still they come. Bendali looking for options, finds one in Belbashir. Hassadou, Belbashir. Not a lot of movement, to the byline it goes. Looking to play the 1-2, they'll have to settle for the corner. Better from the French, momentum building. Belbashir left-footed, and they'll have to reload the corner. Youssef getting in the way of that one, and the complimentary window smash sound to go with it. Drilled in once more, nobody there. More attacking intent though.
Good balls into the box from France, but the Dutch are just slinging themselves in front of everything. The only thing you would say is they have to make sure the adrenaline doesn't start pumping too much and they verge on sliding.
Hassadou will bring it forward then. That's a good ball and a lovely touch, but the Dutch again force the French backwards. Not seeing an awful lot of movement off the ball. That's a good ball though, and it nearly crept in into the side netting from Colachico. The man who scored the equaliser against Kazakh. A huge goal. And there it is, the equaliser. They've had a few corners back to back to back, and they've finally now made one count just before the break. It was drilled into the area. We've seen it a few times. It was a good ball from Hassadou.
It's Colachico, the man again, in the mixer, in the right spot.
Beg your pardon. Ahead of myself there. Very much needed from the French. They've got to go back, the French, in search of another before the break. Into the final minute we go. Besessoir moving it nicely here, the Dutch. Bouhalou. A chance for the French to break and draw level before half-time. Cut out still though, the danger not quite clear. Into touch it goes, and it will be a Dutch ball.
Colachico just wanted a bit too much time to wind up the power bar, didn't he? Needed to get that shot away quicker.
long from the goalkeeper. All things considered, the Dutch will be happy. But the French certainly growing into this game.
Lost their zip a little bit since the yellow card, haven't they? The Dutch.
Betat from range, blocked. Just trying to survive now and get to half-time. Left-footed effort saved. Anywhere will do for the Dutch. And there is the half-time whistle then. An action-packed half of soccer here in Cancun. It's a lively start from the Netherlands, a wonderful set-piece goal from Damani to give the Netherlands the lead. They doubled their advantage. But Colachico, the man who saved the French in their game against Kazakh and salvaged the draw, has just given the French that little bit of hope. A big second half to come. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back then. Welcome back then to a superb evening of soccer action already underway here in Cancun. If you are just joining us, don't be thrown off. It is the Netherlands playing from right to left in the blue and France in the red. And in the first half, it was certainly the Dutch side that had the better of the half. They lead by 2-1. A superb free kick from El Boubsi, followed up by a lovely finish from Damani. But hope for the French as Colachico once again popped up and scored a goal just to keep this French team alive in Group F. Bendali dispossessed, and that's a thunderous clearance. The French will lean on their experience to pull themselves back in this game. The Dutch have already mounted a comeback in this tournament. That's a good touch and a good save as well. Verplank, 6'5", certainly the tallest goalkeeper in the competition. Played in the French 4th division. Immediately called into action, and France just unable to break away there.
Started brightly again, have the Netherlands.
And here's another opportunity and a beautiful finish. It's the main man, and he is the main man. Bissouar slots one home to make it 3-1. The Dutch are in charge here. And the boys in red need to come up with some answers.
He's the maestro, isn't he? Takes it on the turn, spins himself around and slots it straight through the goalkeeper's legs. Excellent finish. And a terrible time to concede for France, you'd have to say, straight after the team talk, straight after the interval. The message would have been go out and attack this game. Got a taller hill to climb now.
Marakci goes long. All the way back to Verplank. Ominously tiptoeing forward, looking for options, opts to shoot, and it wasn't far away either. And there's a coming together off the ball. They've got a healthy lead to protect now, the Dutch. They're on the attack. I think their mentality will more than likely be the best form of defense is attack. Here they come again, blue jerseys. Forward in advanced positions.
What impresses me so much with this Netherlands side is they go from back to front so quickly. You need to break fast in soccer, and they do.
Played deep from the corner. The shot not quite enough to trouble Verplank. And that ball to Colachico just had too many legs. Direct ball though from the Dutch, up the other end they go. Moving it nicely, the Dutch. And that was late. Huge appeals down to my right for a yellow card.
was late from Jonathan Cafe. I'm not sure it was sinister enough to warrant France going down to 5. France with the goal kick through Verplanck. Cafe. Verplanck being squeezed, pressed. France trying to find the space that the Netherlands are quick to shut out. Cafe. Once again, the ball turns over. Excellent feet once more. And the Netherlands pour forward. Men over, but the pass is behind, and Colachico can tidy up.
Here is Colachico then. He's the bright spark. He's the man they'll look to. They don't want to rely on him too much. It's a brilliant goal against Kazakh, but there's plenty of talent in this French side. Speaking of talent, that man there, Hurtos. It's only his second major tournament. It's right at home.
It's the type of player that scampers across the turf, isn't he? So quick-footed.
Belbashir then from the corner. The deficit not insurmountable. Certainly not for the French. Belbashir drills one in, looking to score a carbon copy, really, of their first goal. Verplanck keeps things ticking over. Jonathan Cafe drills one to the byline. Into the area it goes. Dangerous ball from the French. And they'll win a free kick here, the Netherlands. Better, though, from the men in red. Marakci waving his side forward, donning the captain's armband this evening. They've given it away. Belbashir gets things moving in the right direction for France. Here's Bendali to that man again, Hurtos. Colachico on the turn. Didn't quite have the snap on the shot. And Youssef will get the Dutch going the other way. He's got tidy feet, Youssef. He was the man who pounced on the loose ball from the Uruguayan goalkeeper in their opening game. And there are, or at least a glimpse of the magic feet of the defender. He loves that skill move. He must have done it 10, 15 times. And when I tell you it worked every time, I mean every time.
Baits that dangling leg, doesn't he, and then dances past it.
Trust me, if you missed it, you won't have to wait long to see it again. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Right now, though, France have something to fix. 2 goals behind. It's a big old game. Group F, Netherlands sit top on 3 points. Kazakhstan and France on 1. Uruguay on nothing. But Uruguay certainly have something about them. Up next for the Netherlands, it is Kazakh. For France, it's Uruguay.
When they say styles make fights in boxing, and they certainly do in soccer as well, it'll be really interesting to see this free-flowing Netherlands side against the regimented Kazakhs.
Almost a bit of a disaster there. As the back pass just asking the questions of Marakci. Marcelinho on the field then for France. Likewise Garcia. Not afraid to make changes if it isn't working, France. Garcia down to Lebeg and all the way back to Verplanck. This is what the Dutch will want to see. Dinked forward, but to the player in the wrong coloured jersey. Marcelinho comes back to tidy things up, and that pass is cut out once again, and it will be a free kick again to the Dutch. They're almost masters at winning free kicks, and they do win them.
They do, and Lebay looked a very guilty man as he was walking away there. He knew he clipped the toe. I think it's because they're so nippy, they're so quick. Come in like a flash when they're defending and attacking.
They bait you with the ball and then take it away.
That magician's just vanishing in front of your eyes.
Well, a bit of thinking to do for Hugo de Silveira. Don, the nicest man in soccer. And his coach, Olivier Lebay, I'm sure his brain is running at 100 miles an hour looking for an answer. Right now, France are causing themselves all the issues. El Boubsi lofts one into the area, hit into the ground, cleared off the line. A scramble in the French area. Corner ball for the Dutch. Right-footed effort, deflected in. Bissois again with a brace. He won't score many easier than that, but you've got to be in the right place at the right time. And he was, as he often is.
Well, France look punch drunk. They really do. We didn't know what to expect from the Netherlands against France, who, as we say, are a well-established soccer outfit. But they're blowing them away here. And that man, Bissois, is a big reason as to why they're blowing them away.
Well, there's a small group of Dutch supporters down to our right, and they're having a great time. And the name that they're calling is Smiley. And if that man makes his debut, you will hear the cheer, I promise you. Right now, though, some defending to do for France, or should I say for the Netherlands. Can you tell the kits are confusing me? Garcia. It'll be a goal kick. It's just not quite coming together in the final third for the French. Perhaps the kit colours are confusing them as well, and they're passing to the boys in blues. And as I say that, here is the international debut, his first appearance at a major tournament. Smiley's on the field. A target man of many talents. And here he is, his first touch brought down and nicked away from him. 4-1 the score. And if he gets a goal, the stadium will be bouncing. That's good footwork on the attack here. The Dutch. Smiley making a run at the back stick. But it will be a French ball.
It's just about 6 minutes left to go, and this is quickly drifting away from France.
It'll be a heavy defeat for France to deal with. Ranked 11th in the world, 10th in the tournament. Euro Cup finalists not too long ago. They went 1-0 up in that game. It went to 2-2, and in the end they conceded 2 in the last 10 minutes. Every touch from Smiley applauded by the fans around me. France have been knocked out in the last 16 in the 2 previous World Championships. Their aim certainly would have been to progress from this group, regardless of who's in it. Who's it? Beats 2 into the area, plays the 1-2, it's 5. The Dutch are home and host. They're top of the group. 6 points it'll be. They came into the competition as an unknown. And boy, oh boy, have they lit this tournament alight. Remarkable.
5-star Netherlands, and they really have been 5-star. The gloss put on this performance by a real free-flowing goal. Beautifully worked, and it might not be over yet.
Well, France will certainly not give up. With less than 5 minutes to go, it's not just a mountain they've got to climb.
Not many sides will do this to France, and what we're witnessing is a currently unranked side do this to France on their TUI Soccer World Championship debut.
Well, look, bigger tests to come perhaps for the Netherlands, but this certainly up there with one of the biggest. As I said, it's Kazakh that await the Netherlands, but they might be able to go into that game with a bit of security. That's a good ball, though. And there is the finish. Garcia scores. Well, can they?
It would be a tall order, but from what we've seen tonight, I wouldn't rule anything out. Goal of real quality from France, who work it to that back stick ever so well, and Garcia just hangs in the air to cushion it home.
He does pop up with a few, Garcia. 2 goals in the Euro Cup this year. He actually got injured in the final after 2 minutes, so didn't get a chance to really show his ability there. Had he stayed on the pitch, perhaps the story would have been different, and we'd be watching the Euro Cup winners losing to a team making their debut in the World Championships. Stranger things have happened, though. 3 goals the difference, 3 minutes remain.
More than enough time in soccer.
Hasidou over the ball. Every player in and around the area for France. The goalkeeper well over the halfway line. It's now or never. They need 3 goals. Hasidou drills it in. They've got another. Well, is this the start of the unthinkable for France? Hurtos scores. And in his second major tournament, he won't have scored many goals bigger than that.
Well, they were in party mode, the Netherlands. But I think that's just a reminder, you can't celebrate just yet. France well in this now, 1 more goal. And we're set up for a frantic finish.
2 minutes to go. 2 goals is what they need. And they're coming forward here, France. This would be huge. Left foot and it's in! It's 5-4. And the unthinkable is unfolding in front of our eyes. Asselinho with the finish. 1 minute to go, and all of a sudden, they only need 1 to draw level.
How quickly the tables have turned. And I think this is a lesson learned for the Netherlands, who just took their foot off the gas. Started to appreciate their good work too early. And the French are reminding them, listen, we're still here, we're still fighting.
Well, I said stranger things have happened, but this would certainly be up there, drilled into the area, headed away. All of a sudden, the intensity of the game just dialed up to 100. Inside the final minute, with 3 minutes to go, France needed 3 goals. With less than a minute to go, they just need 1 to the edge of the area. That one, though, without the venom. They'll just want to kill the time here, the Netherlands. They'd be bitterly disappointed to see this one slip away. And in true Dutch style, they win a free kick right on the edge of the area. and it may be enough to see them through. Late drama. What a night of soccer we've seen.
You can barely believe tonight what's unfolded in front of our eyes. And this has just been another crazy game. France were drifting there in purgatory. They looked well out of this match. What was it, a matter of 3 minutes? We'd had 3 goals. But this might kill it for the Netherlands. They'll take their sweet time, I'm sure, over getting the ball back into play. And they might even think they could add a 6 from this position.
The clock is very much in the red. To the edge of the area, right-footed, big save from Verplank. It'll be a corner, and the clock will continue ticking down. Lofted across field. There's not long to go. Last chance saloon then for the French. They've teased us with a comeback of all comebacks, but it's now or never. The goalkeeper's off, and that is wasteful. And the referee has just checked his watch. There's still time to be played. In fact, there isn't. There is the full-time whistle. The Netherlands did just about enough. In the end, far more nerve-wracking than they expected. France 3 goals behind with 3 minutes to go, and all of a sudden in the final minute, it was just the one. In the end, though, it is the Dutch who emerge victorious, and you cannot underestimate that achievement, and you can't underestimate what it means for the group. Group F, the Dutch, the debutants, sit top. The drama continues here in Cancun. A delightful run of games likely to continue. Up next, it's England up against Costa Rica, and that game has got a lot to live up to. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back.